Welcome to the Stone Table. This isn't a stage, it's a gathering place. Here, lifters of all kinds bring their stories. The heavy, the honest, and the hard-earned. Real voices, real weight. Shared like a good pour among friends. Recorded in Ontario, Canada, and open to lifters everywhere. Sláinte.
Welcome back to the Stone Table podcast, where we bring stone lifters of all types and backgrounds, lifters, runners, strong men and women, and everyday warriors to the mic to talk about strength in all its forms. Before we get into today's conversation, I want to set the tone because this episode for me sits at the intersection of two worlds I care deeply about. One, of course, strength and stone lifting, and the other world of endurance and speed. Our guest today, Michal, is someone I first met virtually back in 2022 or 2023. It was through Instagram and the stone lifting community there. His Instagram handle is Polish Guy Scottish Stones. He's a 70 kilogram athlete who started stone lifting in 2020 when we were all kind of in the ebbs of COVID. And I think we'll probably talk a little bit about that and how the COVID scenario really opened up the stone lifting world for us all. And what struck me about Michal was not just the stones that he was lifting as a 70 kilogram athlete, but his ability to combine it with running. He has held space for both. I've watched him run races over the years, do competitions, do heavy lifts. So welcome, Michal.
Hello there. Hi.
So let's start as we always do. What are you drinking today?
Water, as usual.
Good choice. It's 8 o'clock there. It's 3 p.m. here. I'm having my afternoon tea.
Perfect timing.
It's perfect timing for me. And you've just put the little ones to bed, so we should have time here to have a great chat. But let's kind of start at the beginning. Give us a little bit of background about yourself and what you do for a living. Just give us a sense of your athletic and sports-related background.
I came to Scotland in 2013, I think. So quite a few years ago. And I love Scotland from the beginning, I'm not going to lie. I think that was the place that I meant to be. I started working here basically immediately for a couple of years. I came back to Poland for a couple of months to sort some things. And I came back like 8 years ago. Yeah, and from that moment, I will say I actually started running and training for, let's say, more serious way. And also stone lifting and general gym, because before I have some injuries and I couldn't actually do many things, but I came back from that and build up to the moment that I can just combine two things that I actually like and enjoy. In some ways, of course, I enjoy them. And right now, except that I'm training and I'm doing my stuff, I got family. That's the main thing that I have. I got a little son. He's 3 years old. So basically everything is around him. And so not much time for the training, but I still manage to squeeze those 3 trainings in the week. I work part-time only right now because my son requires some time with me also. So we basically missing each other and taking care of our sons and going to work and doing our stuff also. So that's how it looks right now.
Yes. So you moved from Poland to Scotland and you've continued to run, but you started stone lifting in 2020, I believe.
2020, actually, yeah, it was something like that this time, yes.
Yeah. And that year was obviously really hard for everyone with COVID kind of in full swing. How did stones start to enter your life? What made you pick up one for the first time?
I mean, I think I saw, it was a time in Poland when I was younger, around 2000, 2003. It was big boom about strongman in Poland because of Mariusz Pudzianowski, famous strongman, 5-time world champion, as they, of course, show in television. And because of that boom, Also, I saw over there athlete who name is Sebastian Venta. He was probably second in the strongman after just Mariusz Pudzianowski. So cool. And he was a shot putter, and he need to stop his career in strongman and start competing in Highland Games in Scotland. And because of that, they showed that in the television as a news. And first time I saw that they throwing stones, they doing caber toss and tossing stones and things. I was like, that is awesome. And that was like 2007, maybe, that I understand what is going on with that. Because the boom was in the beginning of 2000s, but I catch it a little bit later. So 2007 when I first saw that, but that was a brief idea. I saw a guy in the kilt who's tossing us. I was like, that's awesome. That's awesome. So that was the first time when I saw stones. But of course, throughout the years, I forget about it. I got it in mind that it's a great thing to do because that's the real test of strength. It's not a bar or anything like that that you can measure. This is like, you need to be really strong to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw the stones at that time, and later on, I just didn't pay much attention until I was able to come back to the gym. And in the front of my gym was also 70-kilo stone just laying on the ground, and no one was able to pick it up. So I pick it up because I didn't know that I can't pick it up. So I just pick it up, and that's how it started because the stone was there. Of course, I saw in internet because I was, you're sitting on the phone, you see everything. If you're interested in gym, you're seeing things, and I saw some stone lifters in Scotland because I was here, and it just makes me wonder what is going on here. And I start seeing more stone lifting because it was COVID actually time.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting more time on the phone makes me wonder what I can do with myself. And gym was closed. Stone was outside, so I can train outside. Thanks to gym owner Martin, who allows me to train outside. So that was a great, because it was also some farmer walks, tire. I bring some hammers so I could do my training because I was recovering from some things, and I really need to do something, not sitting home, because sitting in home gets you nowhere after a long period of time. So I think that was the time when it was a boom actually for me for stone lifting because it was plenty of time. And I started following people in internet, on Instagram, and that's how I get actually to the stones. And I found this stone lifting's website, Old Man of Stones. And I start reading. I buy a book. The famous book about stone lifting.
Of
Always with
course,
me.
Stone Man,
Yes, I
Martin.
travel. I travel with this book when I do stone lifting tours.
It's must for everyone for sure.
That was the thing that I was referring to in the beginning, to be honest. And some videos from internet. I saw Jamie McGregor right now, previously Gorian, and other athletes, of course. I saw Andrew Carney.
Yes.
Mark Sheriff was showing somewhere. Of course, I heard about Dini Stone after and everything, all the history. I get to the roots, to the first videos. It wasn't that much videos except couple. Yeah, it's not like right now. Stones are everywhere.
Yeah. So your first lift that going in cold, you just decided to lift a body weight stone. So
Yes,
you
because
were
it was
70
outside. It was
kilograms and
outside.
it weighed 70 kilograms. That's phenomenal.
I mean,
And did you lift it to chest, or like did you lift it off the
let's say
ground, or?
it was like chest height. Yeah, and of course it was. Let's be honest, it was no technique and or anything, any idea behind it. I knew that I need to deadlift and do squats, but that was it actually.
That's
Because I saw
phenomenal.
many times how guys live that. I watch strongman videos, so I got the idea, but I never actually try it, and I got the opportunity in the front of my legs, so I was like, why to not try?
Yeah,
And it
absolutely.
was a good try.
It was a good time. Like COVID was a great time. So
In
my
this way,
first,
of course, it was terrible from other
yes,
reasons, but
yes.
yes.
Yeah. Like it honestly got me back to nature. And my first foray, besides Jamie telling me or like saying, hey, like, do you want to try natural stone lifting? Jamie McGregor, he was like, why don't you sign up for Sean Urquhart's Ohio Stones of Strength online competition? And I don't know if you submitted for that, but that was like one of the first times I submitted a lift,
Mhm.
and that was in COVID, and that was kind of it. Like as soon as I did that, the whole stone lifting kind of went
explode in your life also, yeah? From that one lift,
Exactly.
and it just goes. If you
It
got it, you
does.
got it, and that's it. Some people
Exactly.
hate it as the first hit. They said, no, no, but I understand you. I think we have the same feeling about it.
For sure. And I hope we have the same feeling about running too, which is gonna, I think some of our viewers will be like, oh my God, no running, because most people slow twitch, fast twitch fibers, etc. But back to lifting during COVID, I always saw on your posts you lifting somewhat like on a beach. Where was that?
I mean, in the beginning of COVID, I wasn't sure because I got few spots. Edinburgh is in the Gulf of North Sea, so you got a chance to have some water and actually some nice beach in the city, I will say, right? Because it's beach in the city, Portobello, the area that I lived right now. But previously, I was going to Preston Pans, Seaton Sands. It's not far actually; it's 40 minutes from Edinburgh in the bus. So absolutely nice area to travel. A lot of history over there. I was checking those points, but they were very public, I will say. Too public. It was many people. They look at me. It was, COVID. I was training outside with stones. I wasn't also very confident with that. I didn't know if I'm doing this right or not. But so I moved from this area a little bit closer to city, to Joppa. And in Joppa, just started there. And actually, it was no one there because it's just stones, pebbles, rocks. It's no sand. So it's not very public. It's no road for a normal walk. You can go over there with the dog. That's a great area for a dog, yeah, because it's water, stones, and everything. And I just start putting those stones on the side. I saw that they are staying there, so I was like, maybe I'm gonna do that point. I actually moved in this area just to be closer to stones, and I always want to live near the beach because I'm from central Poland, so it's like 600 kilometers. When I was like 25 or 7 years in Poland, I've been once. Now I'm every day because I need to cross the street. Just behind this curtain is a road, and I'm on the beach, so
That's
that's why I'm
phenomenal.
all the time here.
No, and it kind of gets you back to the land, back to grounded, and kind of out in nature. And so the other thing that brings you out to nature, running, you move between two different worlds, which I just absolutely treasure. And can you tell us a bit about how you got into running and how did running lead into stones, or how did that work?
I mean, my journey with running started, I think, a long time ago when I was sitting on the bench. Let's say, I had a little bit different life because I was struggling with alcohol addiction at some point of my life for 12 years. And I was sitting on the bench, wasting my time with some colleagues. And I was seeing people running the marathons and everything because Edinburgh is quite known from few festivals about running, and there's quite a lot of running over here. And I was like, the people I was thinking that people struggle without the reason and things like that, but I saw them coming back with medals, and I saw their happy faces and this enthusiasm and everything, and I was starting figuring out that I think I missed something in my life. This happiness that the people have after that, I didn't realize that at that point, but throughout the years I understood this, that was the thing that keeps me, if was make me to start running actually. But I was out of shape to do anything. I was not who I am right now. Let's say this way. It was harsh time for me, very hard time. But I came back from that, and I always won a medal because I never achieved everything. I was competing in many sports in my life, or train something. I was training wrestling, jiu-jitsu. I was playing football. I was doing everything what I can, just to put this energy somewhere other than destructive things. I was like, running actually might be good for me. After I recover from my addiction, after therapy, I came to Scotland, I think in something like Easter time. And I was like, I need to do a run. And the run was in the May. So I was like, I came back to Scotland. I just find a job in 2 days, start working. So I just sign in for the race. I start training. I buy tracksuit, Rocky style. And I just start running. Of course, I done all the mistakes that the beginner runners does. Even if I have access to internet, I was still doing my thing. But yeah, first run was relief, and actually, I really need it. I actually don't enjoy running at all. I'm not gonna lie, but I think
Yes,
it
I feel
gets my
that.
mind to the good places.
Yes, and that is very much a similar path, and I really appreciate you sharing with us that information, because I think whether it's running or stone lifting, and for some people it's powerlifting, there's always usually a story behind why someone starts,
Yes, it's usually
or
a story.
right? And it's usually the means back to yourself, to find yourself and to be a healthier version of yourself, mentally, physically, as a parent, as a member of the community. And I have had mental health issues myself. There was a time when I was like a young parent, maybe drinking a little too much. So running became a thing, and it gave me the endorphins, it gave me that feel good state.
You need this energy, so you found it in the different way. I will say this way.
Yes.
I think you need
Yes.
this in your body, otherwise you're gonna go on the wrong path if you're not gonna exchange that energy. Need to transfer to somewhere else.
Yes. And part of that too for me, and I don't know if it was the same for you, but when I run, it burns off my anxiety. So, or it burns off like my cortisol. Stone lifting doesn't do that to me for say. I do stone lifting for different reasons, but that's kind of where what I wanted to ask you about next is, so you do stone lifting and running. What does running give you that lifting doesn't? And what does lifting give you that running can't?
I mean, I was thinking about it because it's an interesting idea, and both of things, and what you're asking is very interesting thing because I think about it a little bit more this way that running gets me to the place in my mind. Of course, when I run without music, without anything. I'm
Wow.
not gonna say jogging style, but I just run. I just run. I'm going for a run. I need to be focused. I'm here and now. I'm trying to be here and now. So I need to feel everything. And this is my main point. I'm start running and I'm just focusing on my breathing
So
because
you're
I
in the
started with
present
that.
moment, and that brings you back to the present moment.
And I'm here and now, and I'm focusing. You hear the voices, stop doing that, or I just neglect them, and I'm just focusing on my breathing for this half an hour. Let's say I run this 5 kilometers, half an hour more or less, 5 minutes this way or that way. But this is half an hour of me, only me. It's in these days it's really hard to achieve that with all the buzz around you. I don't see any other runners, I don't think about. I'm just making sure that I'm not in anyone's path, and I respect the runners' rules and things like that. Yes, this is of course I'm aware what I'm doing to not interrupt the race, but except that I'm in the game with myself, and it gives me this half an hour really like it clears my mind and
Hmm.
give me this peace after. I feel good. I feel good. I feel that I achieved something. It's not the medal. It's not those bravos and everything. It's not. It's just something inside.
Yeah, I
Stone
totally
lifting,
relate to that. Totally relate to that.
I think it's that kind of feeling in me. I just feel it this way. Also, I don't enjoy the process of running. I'm terrible with running. I don't even train running. I just go for a race. If I see that it's a race and it's 5 kilometers, I just go without training. I'm just making sure that I'm in the shape all the time, that I can run 5K without problem. I have no knee injuries, no struggle with hips. Let's say healthy in general. So I expect from myself first that I need to be in shape. I get family. I need to be able. So that's why that running gives me something different than stone lifting. Stone lifting stone lifting is a shorter moment of me versus me, but I like the journey of what showing up on every training, even if you don't want. Everyone knows that it's easy to show up on training when you like, or you feel good, you sleep well, you eat well. Of course, you're gonna go for a training. The secret is to go when you don't want to and show up. And those small victories during stone lifting, it's terrible weather, it's cold. I'm not feeling it today. I'm like, stop, just go.
Yeah.
And showing up on those moments, I think built my confidence, and because of drinking, I lost absolutely totally my confidence and everything. My world shattered into pieces. So I need to pick up myself and actually maybe not rebuild, but recreate. I need to drop the ashes and really start working again.
So do you find that they complement each other? Like, I've been trying to think of what your programming looks like. First of all, do you do your own kind of programming? Like, how does it complement each other? Like, I run 3 times a week, but I've decided long distance is not something for me. I keep it fast, I keep it short, and I mean short as in less than 5K
Mhm.
on one long day. And like, tell me a bit about your training and that works together.
As much as you said, it is very your programming is very hard because you try to run 3 times a week. Plus, of course, you do lifting and everything. So I understand that it's hard to squeeze that. In my case, it's like I'm trying to do 3 trainings in the gym. My running doesn't, my training routine doesn't exist actually. I just go for a run. If it's a race, I don't try running. Because I do my programming by myself. Just I read, I watch, analyze, and adapt it to myself. So I just train 3 times a week in the gym, sometimes four if I add stones. But I do a lot of cardiovascular exercises with high intensity because I I, I really don't have time to squeeze more. So I do what I can in this time. So if it's even a lot of reps on tire flips or hammer slams, sometimes I use treadmill for a warm up or some air bike, but this is also high tempo, to raise your heart rate to maximum few times and rest and come back. Like that's it. I use skip rope. I'm not gonna lie, I use skip rope to condition my calves because they always get the most from my running that they are not good. So to be quick on
And
feet, I'll say.
so for your lift sessions then in the gym, did you use like kind of the guidance from Martin's book or like for the main lifts, or what is your approach to that?
It's hard to say from who I take because this program have many fathers, I will say, because I watch a lot and I base on that. So, but yes, the first training was based on that. But right now I'm trying to do main lift, sometimes 2 main lifts, of course, with smaller weights, with differences. And after that, I do, I would say, accessories around that. So I address usually my weak points. So if it's core and legs, for example, in this programming, like I done now, it's core and legs because I like in these areas. Yes, conditioning is enough, I think, to do 5K, a 5 kilometers run, and not gas out in stone lifting competition. I mean, it works for me, right? I think everyone is from different point and level of fitness, and
Yes.
that's my plan. I just adapted to my needs and my time, actually.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I've come across is that everybody needs to kind of listen to their own body when it comes to programming and kind of adapt even on the daily basis. So I think with kids that's really important. You do what you can and you fit in what you can and working around
The main
injuries
thing
and
is
all
to
of that.
show up, right, and do the thing because it's really difficult to do all of those things perfectly. We are all humans, right? We have
Hmm.
different things that, and so the load of the training is also varies of the day. I know sometimes when I'm not feeling that I shouldn't do some things, and I just don't do them. Like I supposed to do something heavy, I just gonna drop the weight, right? Because I might get injured, and actually I can't get injured like anyone, but. I need to go to work also and do other things. So
Hmm.
I need to be in shape all the time. And those training is like 1 hour session and I squeeze all that in like really because I need to run for a bus to
Yeah.
get back to home. So let's say I got 2 1 hour sessions and one, let's say 1.5. And I do a lot of accessories. If I have time and a chance, I got some grippers. I do some grip work in home. I got some small stones just to train if I have a chance, of course. And that's my main core of the training is main lifts. Especially I train for my McGregor games and for main lifts when I travel to do any stone lifting tours.
So that's a really great segue into kind of what we're chatting about next. Like, I want to chat about how you and I ended up here on a podcast after following each other for years. And so, as I said, I think we crossed paths online in 2022. You and I were chatting about that before we got online here. And as I said, followed your journey for years. And I think
And
obviously
vice
it
versa.
was,
I followed you.
and it was obviously because you were strong, but it was also because you did the running combined with it and you were super consistent. Like, you were always out there lifting, you're putting your posts up, and the lifts were super impressive
Thank
per
you.
pound. Yeah. So
It's one good thing with this Instagram because it keeps me accountable. That I drop all the time those runs and things because it's mainly for me. I'm happy that other people follow me and comment and everything. I'm super happy because I never expect that I have anything like that. But it keeps me also accountable. I try to put it in the good light, the overuse of internet, but it works for me, right? Think it's important to set up like in my case, I just need to set up something. So I need to do 5 runs in a year. Like I need 5 Saturdays in a year. It's not much. I just need to organize myself for 2 hours to get there, run for half an hour and come back to home. So it's 10 hours total in the year. Like, come on, Michael, you can do it. It's 10 hours. It's one day. You're sitting sometimes in 3 days more on the phone or on the couch. So you can do it.
yeah,
If you're training, of course, yes.
as I was talking to Stuff Your K Cool, which I assume, or Sarah, whom I assume you follow, she was saying, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. And, you're responsible for getting yourself to the gym, making the healthy choices for yourself and for your kids. And that's kind of what's really important. So that's been her take. What, aside from like being accountable, what else do you think the stone lifting community has meant to you? I mean, as we've seen since 2022, it is grown exponentially. Besides that accountability piece, what has it meant for you?
I mean, stone lifting in general means a lot to me. I spend most of the time, actually, my wife is saying that I'm talking too much about stones because I'm always talking about stones in home. A little bit too much. I'm a little bit too much. I'm 0-1. When I got something, I just stick to it. And
Hmm.
the stone lifting community grow in a second, I will say. And it's always, stick have two ends, right? Is the extreme from one way and from the other way. But I'm happy that it's so big. Actually, it got some pros and cons, but in the end of the day, it's all about stones, right?
It's about the stones. Yes, it is. It's
Nothing else. It's
absolutely.
not about me or anything or anyone else. Actually, you lift in that. That's great, but I think it's something bigger. This is the idea. Not one person or few persons. This is the idea. So it's for me. It's easier to be there and stone lifting community growth, I will say too fast a little bit. It's hard
Yeah.
to get what's going on. It's so many things going on in all the world that I need more time for my
Yes.
passion.
More time, more
I'll
money
put it this way.
to travel to all of these places. But I think,
And visit and even watch,
hmm. Have you found like your community's expanded because of it? The fact that you and I are sitting here talking, I never would have dreamed that this would have been the thing.
When I was dropping first videos, people from Poland asked me on DMs, what is wrong with me? So I wasn't expecting any feedback. Polish guy in Scotland who tried to lift stones. People in the gym was looking at me that I'm crazy. My mom was calling me like, "You need to stop to do that. You're gonna have problem with back."
You,
I already have problem with back from sitting.
yeah,
So maybe I gotta do something else what I like. And if I injure myself, at least I injured myself when I was doing something what I like.
no, for sure.
And the option, like you're of course based in Canada. It's people in Australia and everywhere actually. If you look on this, it's worldwide for everyone, and it's access right now to that. People can see each other. We can connect. That's great. That's great. We live in the great area of communication. To be honest, that is so easy for us to. I will never expect that we will chat and
No.
that you're gonna have a podcast.
No.
Do you remember your first? You remember your first lift? Yes. And now look where you're sitting and what is going on.
I never would have imagined this. Like my first lift was I mean, I'll never forget it, but it wasn't the most beautiful lift, but it was beautiful in a way that it started something.
That's why
And
that's why I'm thinking. My first historic lift or any lift was terrible in technique, as I mentioned it before, but it means something. That was the first step that like a baby, take a first step and fall. Okay, we're
mhm.
gonna do it again, but a little bit better next time.
Yes, yes. And progressively have gotten better. I mean, there's always room there's for improvement.
But yes, if you put yourself to the point where you were at, where in the beginning and now, it's like I think I got the idea what you want to say. Yeah.
Mhm. So your first stone led to, and that was at the gym, the 70 kilograms. Then you went to the beach, and then you decided, well, let's just compete. Let's compete. Let's go to do the McGregor Games, which is a very unique event led by Jamie McGregor. How did you end up stepping on to the field that first time? Like, get me to and let me understand how that all happened.
You see, it happened in the moment when I started stone lifting at some, I've been a few times in the beach. I've been a few times there, and I lift my first stone. It was sadly Mars stone. And that was my first stone that I lifted. I just chose it from the book, and I was like, it would be great if someone organized competition only with stones, like no bars, no anything. I was like, if I see something like that, I'm signing in. Not long after, Jamie McGregor starts organizing McGregor Games in different form, in different place, absolutely totally different story. The first McGregor Games was in Stables. So I was asked. I'm not sure if by Mark Sheriff, because I was in contact with few people. Uh, Mark Sheriff or Brian Stedman contact me if I want to be a helper. I'm not a driver, so I couldn't organize anyone who can pick me up and drive me there. So I didn't help. But later on, Jamie opened McGregor Games for men, and I was chatting with him, and he convinced me, like, Michael, just give it a go. Just give it a go, and let's see how it's gonna go. And I sign in.
And so tell me a bit about your mindset going into that first games. Were you excited, nervous? Like what were the weights of the stones and how did you fare going into the games?
You see, to be honest, I didn't know what to expect. As an overthinker, I will say I saw all the scenarios possible in my head before I came there. So when I came there, I was calm because I saw everything, any possible outcome. But I was a little bit nervous for sure because I didn't know what to expect. When I get out from the car and I saw the size of the guys with who I gonna compete, I was like, wow, like what is going on? To be honest, I never saw that kind of big guys in my life. So I was like, okay, let's give it a go. I mean, I'm not backing out. Let's give it a go. And it was, and I enjoy it, and I enjoy it.
Okay, and this to me is a crucial point that you've made. And I know that this is the mantra of the slogan of New England, but stone lifting is for everyone. It is for a 70 kilogram lifter or a strong man or a strong woman. It
It
is
doesn't matter.
for, it does not matter. And if you have the passion and the drive and I don't know, the drive to do it, then it's open to you. And stones don't cost anything and they're there for everyone. Tell me about the environment of the games and what the community is like, the camaraderie, and maybe then go into talking about some of the best lifts you've done and the ones that you walked away saying, wow, like that was mine. That was was a lift I'll remember?
About the atmosphere and organization and everything, because it was change of venues, but of course views change, but the atmosphere is the most important part. Of course, it was beautiful in Borlands, but the Giant Fitness is also a great place to compete because I've been in both. Atmosphere, I remember I get out from the car and, I'm Polish guy. Basically, it's all Scottish people, and I wasn't feeling any bad vibe or anything. Actually, people started talking to me, say hi. I know a few guys from Instagram and everything. So it was, and I remember my first lift. Most of the people, like the public, of course, I don't know anyone. I was with my wife and my kid was, I don't know how old, but not very old. We just came there, see what's going on. And people was shouting my name, of course, in the funny way. They was encouraging me, congratulate me, and everything. I was feeling really good over there, and probably that's the one of the good reasons to stay there and compete in stone lifting because the community, people who you don't know, wish you the best lift. We're not we competing with each other, but actually everyone compete between themselves. In their heads because everyone have obstacles and the stone lifting I think is a place for many people who just let it go. So
Hmm.
everyone is encouraging, nice, kind. It's home atmosphere. It's always tea or coffee or anything. People are nice.
Hmm.
I can't say anything bad about it. I never met with any discouragement or anything. Actually, I hear many good words. Actually, I needed to continue to doing things that I do right now because it's very nice to hear something. You don't hear very often compliments.
No.
So it's very nice to hear from guys who you look up to that they say something nice.
Yeah, it's a
So
super supportive environment. I run the IHGF Stones of Strength here in Canada.
I want to ask about that.
Yeah, it's a competition, but it doesn't feel like a competition. And I've competed in a variety of sports, and it's, as you say, like it's just a group of really amazing people that come together, are cheering you on. They push you to get lifts that you never think you would get. And at the end of the day, sure, there are awards, but it really isn't about that. It is about the community. It's about giving your best. It's about putting your best performance in and making it open to everybody. And this is what I like that Jamie has done. And I kind of took a page from him as well as some of the women saying, hey, like we really want to do stone lifting, but these weights are a little bit much. So can you create another division? So we've created another division. And which division are you in McGregor?
It's I compete in novice because novice is until you're not podium you can compete in novice.
Okay.
If I've been in first three, I need to go up so to the Scottish strongest stone lifter. But otherwise, I'm not the first timer, so it's a category novice, and it's no weight categories or anything like that. So
Same.
I just compete with guys, 120 kilos.
Yeah,
I mean, I
double
mean,
your weight.
but from the other way, I look at that stone's weight the same for everyone.
Hmm.
So for me, it's 120, and for you, it's 120.
Yeah. Now, so let's talk about which lifts were amazing. Like just in the competition wise, we'll talk about historic stones in a bit. But what are you most proud of some of your performances at the McGregor Games? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, you came away with two awards for in 2023 and 2024. Tell me about those.
I mean, I need to recall myself because it's a long story here. But from the main lifts that I recall them, it was I think the first competition made me realize when I was carrying Husafar. I done like 14 meters, and I know that in back of my head that I have more. So I think that was important lift for me from that different reason. Not that I smashed it, but actually I could do more, and I stopped. And it happens to me a few times, but I catch the moment, and I'm very glad that I catch that moment. And I'm quite good with stone carry actually right now because I stop holding back.
That's
And
amazing.
this few times give me like you need to sort that in back of your head. So it's not the triumph moment, but the lose moment that actually is my good lift. I'm also happy with other lifts. When I crossed the 3 meter marks with walking stones, 120 and 95 kilos, that was a I tried to achieve that for quite a long time. Those 3 meters in the competition with those stones, because like I don't know, it's like 3 times my body weight or something. It put a strain on my body, but it is what it is. I love to do that. I would say those lifts are the most important because I think I can do better. So the biggest lifts are before me. I'm looking more to future than to past right now, but this is the important moment. I think, yeah. When I lose, or I know that I could do more, and when the people shout and come on, it's really nice. It gives you wings, and sometimes you just need that.
And so, while it's great to have kind of like the physical benefits of stone lifting, I just want to go deeper for a moment. Like running and stone lifting, as you've explained, are not just physical, but they're kind of like emotional and psychological as well, like grounding in some respects and diverting energy to other areas. What makes you keep showing up, like on days where because life is gonna feel heavy, like, I know what it is like having a 3-year-old, and I'm sure you have other stresses in your life as well. Why do you keep showing up?
First, for myself, because I need to take care of myself. Otherwise, I cannot take care about others. That's my take on myself. If I'm not good, I'm not any good to anyone else. Also, so I'm showing up for myself to be the best for my family, but it also connects with from the beginning. I need to redirect my energy when I stop drinking. It took me 9 months to come back to Scotland. So I say it was like newborn because I came to Scotland and I need a spine. And I didn't have spine because all my, let's say, moral compass doesn't exist when you're drinking. All those basic things in life and social skills and everything was dead. I need to rebuild that. Showing up on training and breaking the barriers, those first 2 kilometers, first 4 kilometers, first 6 kilometers, 70 kilostone, 90 kilostone, build up actually my spine to show up and do other things in my life and to continue not drinking. I don't drink from July 2017. I don't count the years or days because countdown for what? To end? No, 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 no. It's just quite a long time. I think 8 years right now. And if the method works, I'm not trying to change it because showing up on training makes me feel good and I don't need any more attraction in my life or anything that I can put focus that I don't want to.
That's amazing. I am so super proud of you because it's not, an easy thing to deal with those kind of addictions and challenges and having, pairing that with therapy as well. Like for me, my training has been about my mental health. So it's been structure, it's like therapy. It's kind of gives you a purpose. Like even this podcast is part of my mental health like therapy. It's this connection. Like I know we are thousands of miles away, but I feel having heard your story now, like immensely more connected to uh the community that we've created. And it's super powerful to hear how this plays out in your world as well. Like it's amazing. And I'll always tell people like get out, do something, but like try stone lifting. It can be life altering and it has been
It
for
might be,
me.
it be,
Yeah.
it's better to put this energy somewhere because
Hmm.
otherwise you can always sit on the bench or the couch, and I just don't want to say to myself when I'm gonna be older that I didn't give it a go.
Yes.
I think pain of regret is bigger than pain of discipline sometimes. I mean, I don't feel it right now when I'm training this discipline. I feel it like it's natural more than anything.
Hmm.
Just it's training is a part of my life, and emotions and everything around it. What training gives me and builds me, actually, it's all connected. For me, it's all connected, and it's a part of day to day life and like normal routine. You waking up, you going doing this that, and I just treat training the same way. Like it's for me, it's always how I cannot motivate myself when I not go to training. I just think about like Michael, you've been 8 hours, in work. Many times you
Mhm.
didn't want to go.
So I guess like from that, like what was your drive to try some of the historic stones? I've know you've done Puterek. I know that you've done Saddle and Mare. I think these ones are Aberfeldy, if I'm not mistaken.
This on video, I think, is Glendavon.
Oh, Glendevon, right. So let's
Yes.
talk to me about the historic stones you've done and how that was different from the McGregor Games and what those experiences gave you.
I started from Sally Marstone because when I was reading the book, it put to my imagination a lot of things like saddle the mar, and you actually need some technique to put the stone over there, and it's not easy. I didn't know that if I gonna lift 99 kilos or the weight of the stone at that moment, because I have access only to the 70-kilo stone, and I didn't have much opportunities to do other stones, and I never scaled them, so I didn't know if I gonna manage to even lift that stone. And I remember after it was like fifth attempt, and people who was with me like, okay, I said to them like, guys, okay, I just gonna lift it and we're gonna go, and it happened, and it happened, and it was great moment, I think, for me, because it was first stone, but the
Hmm.
journey for the stone, the views, landscape, and everything, this have different charm that makes me feel like in home. I don't know how to describe it, but makes me feel very good when I'm in Highlands. It's just I'm like, okay, that's the place that I want to be. Actually, just I think it's place for me.
It is the place for me as well. Like I want to retire there for sure. And I think that's why I'm coming back two times in 2026 because it's just, it draws me there. So tell me about some of the other stones that you've done.
I think I done a couple of times. I done Puterach Stone, Monaghill added after, of course. I done Dalwhinnie Stone, Newtonmore Stone.
What was your
I've been in
favorite?
Sheriff Muir. Pardon?
What was your favorite?
I don't know, and I didn't mention the favorite, the Fianna Stone.
Goodness, you've done the Fianna.
Yes, actually, just in the beginning of my journey, because I read a lot of history and everything around history. So I read about Irish and Scottish mythology and folklore and everything. And it was Finn McCall and Fianna warriors and everything. And I was like, okay, this is the stone. I was like, and the weight was, I think, way out of my league at that moment. But I just went there. The Glen Lyon also is stunning place to go.
Yeah,
I encourage to
absolutely.
go there because the place is just mind blowing for me. I think on second attempt I managed to lift it and walk even with that. So I never even, I think the biggest I lifted was sandbag 100 kilo. So I didn't even know that I'm gonna lift that, but I traveled there to just like I need to lift this stone.
And this means anything is possible. Like anything is possible with when you consistently put in the time, consistently show up. And as you say, through the years, you've got a spine back and your compass. And part of that is stone lifting. And like that is absolutely incredible. Were you there by yourself or were you with the tour?
Yeah, no. I usually travel by myself or with family. Because I'm not a driver, I need to ask someone, and the closest is someone from family. My wife's brother just usually agree to help us. Thank you. If I get the chance to thank him, to thank you very much because it happened also because of him. It was funny because we going somewhere in Highlands just to lift stones, and they was looking at me like something is wrong with me. That was funny. I really enjoyed the journey and everything around it. The chase is better than the car sometimes.
Yes, it is. And what do you have a stone, like a goal stone in mind? Is there a stone that you haven't lifted yet that you'd like to?
I mean, I would probably want to lift all the Scottish stones
Of
at some
course.
point, but not particularly any one in my mind coming right now that I want to lift. Of course, Berevan Stone, I never been there, and it's quite far away from me, and it's hard to convince someone for 4.5 hour drive.
It is a must. Like it's my
Uh,
favorite stone. It's my absolute favorite stone for so many reasons. The location, the energy of
The
the
location,
stone.
the history, everything, this it all gets together.
It
It clicks
does.
with you, and you know that.
Yeah.
If it clicks, it
So
clicks.
I hope you can get there one day for sure. So, just as we are getting close to the end here, as you know, I've been starting this podcast, which is part podcast, but it's more so like creating an archive of stone lifting stories of people that are stone lifters that have been in this community. And it's a place to hold voices for people that kind of I've met along the way and have yet to meet. And you're obviously part of that tapestry. And so, from your perspective, why did you decide to show up today? Why does your story matter? And why does stone lifting matter beyond just the weight itself? And we've kind of touched upon it today, but I'd like to know why you wanted to be part of this today.
Actually, I like the idea of podcast, and I never thought in my life that anyone gonna give me a chance to be in any podcast. So I have opportunity. I understand the idea behind the podcast, but when you add that is also some bigger part like your well-being and everything, and this is also amazing, and it adds up the value to that for you and for me also, because I feel honored that I can be a part of that, because you don't have very often offers like that, and you said that that is means a lot to you too.
It does mean a lot to me for sure. And building the community and making it accessible to everyone, allowing men and women and everyone in between the opportunity to see that you can overcome health challenges. You can, pick up stone lifting or whatever it is that you choose, but anything is possible.
Anything is
And
possible, yes.
anything is
That's
possible.
that's the main thing, because if you just want to do it, it's gonna happen. And then I think it's important also to show people some. We are normal people. We are not superstars.
We aren't
It's all.
superstars. It's true. It's true.
We are not in television and anything. We are normal people like everyone else, and we got normal struggles day to day life, and we can still do some things. So don't sit on the couch.
Absolutely. And this segues nicely into kind of my favorite part of the show where I ask every guest the same question as we close. If you could give listeners three pieces of advice, whether it has to do with life or training or anything in between, what would that advice be?
My message to stone lifters to respect the history. Respect the history. Read about it before you're gonna lift it. It's not about you, your records, and your muscles. It's about some bigger things around it. It's about stones. So let's keep it about stones.
Let's keep it about stones. Absolutely. I
Uh,
couldn't agree with that more. Well said.
about training, what I can say about training: consistency with the talent. That's for sure. Show it up when you need to show up matters more than you think. And small things in life also matter more than you think. From your day to day habits to your all routines, all matters what you do.
Yeah.
And for the people, what do I want to say? Be kind. Just be kind
Just be
to each
kind.
other. Yeah, just be
Absolutely.
kind.
I love
It's
that.
not, manner costs nothing.
No, I have absolutely enjoyed this today, and I appreciate you sharing all of kind of like the ins and outs of your struggles in your life and stone lifting and the McGregor Games, as well as the historics. And I'm glad that you can be part of this community in such an authentic way because it takes something special to open up like that. And I hope maybe somebody that's listening that is going through similar struggles or,
That's why the reason I said that,
yeah.
because in the beginning it wasn't easy to share that kind of stories, and I was very often misunderstood, or I just said it to the wrong people. It's just my experience. Maybe someone gonna have different, but I think people need to see, because when I was in therapy, I was thinking that only I have this problem and no one else understands. When I went there, I saw other people struggle like me with the same things. They have the same stories. If it's physical, mental, you feel good, anxiety, depression, you name it, it's always an option. And people also struggle, and they can have normal life actually, and everything can go right if you just put it in the right direction.
I think that's an awesome way to end it off. So, to everyone listening, thank you so much for joining us at the Stone Table podcast. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need to hear it, and stay tuned for the next one. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you very much, Bex. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.